Hi everyone, Waylon here to apologise for the long wait since our last transmission. There was a full shutdown here at Rebus and we've been doing everything we can to get everything back online. Hopefully we should be back to getting everything out regularly for you, but we thank you for your patience and all the rest of it. Thank you.
Sure to check the post that's coming. I'm expecting contact from the Library of Coivet any day now.
I think Waylon's checking that now, actually.
You should still double check. Coivet only sends one contact, no matter how likely it is to get lost in transport.
I do not recognise the name Coivet. Where is it?
Oh, it's one of our sister locations outside of Mythica, although trying to remember exactly where it is not something I can do right now.
I can go look for some information on this place if...
No. There won't be any information in Rebus about Coivet, because it's not in Mythica.
I thought you said Rebus had infinite knowledge.
Where's Waylon?
I'm unsure, but he is probably on his way now.
Well, he should probably hurry up. I've started recording, and whatever poor being is going to get this is going to have to listen to all this nothingness.
Maybe it would be a good idea next time to wait until you have got all the information sheets before beginning recording.
Full of bright ideas today, aren't you?
Well, I was just trying to...
Sorry, I got lost. Still not used to navigating this place.
Right, we'll get a map.
I thought you said Rebus couldn't be...
Give the document to Quentin, it's his turn to record.
We're taking it in turns.
I don't see why not. We're also currently breaching the 2-person max rule. Wait then.
Already on it.
Just read out the information.
Got it.
Oh, and be a bit wary. I think this one's on some sort of cult, so...
Will do. This is the information you have requested on the origins and important information about a group known as the Endless Connection, or commonly referred to simply as the Connection. Although here, in your request, you refer to them as a cult on the planet of Solkan, we haven't really been able to find much evidence that they have actually are a cult. So I hope you can forgive us if there wasn't exactly what you were asking for. Let's see. That is actually the first point here. Okay, so... The Connection is a group which many refer to as a cult. By definition, set out by the MLEC, Mythical Law Enforcement Code, they are not recognised as one. The line is drawn by the MLEC between a religion and a cult is typically that a religion is legally recognised by law. The Endless Connection, despite its cult-like practices, actually was recognised by the MLEC as not a cult, as it says on the document. However, it is probably a good thing to note that they have not referred to the organisers as an actual religion either. It seems to bridge a gap in between the two. Historically, the Connection has been a surprisingly well-documented group for its nature. Typically, it takes us here at Rebus, ages to locate any documentation on these kinds of organisations. But the Connection appears to have made itself as well known as possible. This could only be due to its particularly religious status. We only have documentation here about their history and a few important notes for you. So if you want anything else, you will need to put in another request. More on that later. As far as we can tell, the Connection began roughly 200 years ago and was started by a man named Drond Racing? I don't know. Even in this group, he was perceived as a bit of an oddball, choosing to fly around on a hovercraft screaming out the lyrics of the church's hymns like a death metal screech, rather than their typical approach, which is to simply sit on top of their secret building and hum the words. Rissom was advised continually by his peers that, although they supported him, he was not going about his job the right way whatsoever. However, he point-blank ignored them when this was brought up, continuing his bizarre practices. These included the death metal screaming, as well as other things. For example, he refused to simply blow out a candle, instead insisting on wafting his hand at the flame until it went out. This practice was incredibly impractical, and it is rumoured that some of his colleagues were assigned to reason duty, which basically entailed following him around and subtly blowing out candles so that they could move on. Another example was his strange choice of uniform. Typically, the church uniform for the Sulcan Saviour Church is a knee-length blue robe and rope belt. But Rearson would reportedly come into work wearing nothing. Absolutely nothing. As you would expect, he left the church soon after, claiming that he would forge his own path to the eyes of the gods. This is where a lot of the confusion about the connection status as not a cult comes in. Because although they were not a recognised religion by law, technically they had simply broken off from one. The beliefs were all the same, and the holidays were too. All that truly changed was the rituals and the way that the small groups of people celebrate their gods.
Waylon!
You okay?
You've been looking into weird cult stuff, right?
Oh, you mean yeah, I guess.
Cool. Can you try and make sense of this for me then?
Sure?
Paper sliding sounds.
So essentially they sacrificed holy animals, which from what I can gather are the ones which would typically be space debris, but due to Salkin's weird gravity they fall onto the planet. They use the term sacrifice in reference to killing the already dead thing's souls for the gods. The bigger the creature, the bigger the deal they make out of it. Hold on, have you got any on? Yeah, see, one of their biggest celebrations was created after an abnormally large Taiksesh fell onto the planet. From that point on, they've been trying to find other larger animals to sacrifice.
That's pretty horrendous. What?
Am I all done then?
Yeah, I guess. But what did you... One of their main celebrations that differs from the Sulcan Saviour Church, referred to as the scalping ceremony by those not part of the connection. Members of not a cult simply call it initiation. And that is essentially what it is, an initiation ceremony. The connection accepts up to 5-year members into its upper circle each year, which is why they have the initiation ceremony. Around 10 members attempt to reach the position each year, and the way it is decided who gets to the top circle is by shaving the initiative's heads. However, if any of these candidates cut themselves as they shave off their hair, the other members of the connections... Let's just say it's called the scalping ceremony for a reason. This bizarre ritual is carried out on the longest day of each Sulcan year, forcing the candidates to stay awake for the longest possible time. This ritual is mainly what makes the connection a not a cult and not a religion. The consumption of the hearts is another bizarre ritual that the connection has. This ritual is what we believe has given them their name, as their reasons behind what they do in this ritual is linked to their members becoming not connected to their gods. This ritual starts when a cyclord whale falls down to the surface of the planet, although whether this fall is always accidental is subject to debate, as it seems unlikely that these rare beasts die naturally and fall on the same day every 3.5 years. Same day every 3.5 years, makes no sense. Regardless, the whale's carcass is then collected by a select group of 7 people from various age groups: 2 teenagers, 2 young adults, 1 older child, 1 elderly person, and the child. It seems as if it's an honour to be chosen. Not sure how much I agree with that particular statement, but I'm not here to judge. After, the entire congregation then begins to eat the whale's heart. Yeah, no, I'm not doing this.
Sorry for the pause. Apparently it's more weird, gross cult stuff, so... Okay, so, right. After the heart has been eaten, there's this huge ceremony where the members bathe in the whale's blood. It's generally a pretty messy affair, but from what I can tell, that's as bad as it gets. No sacrifices or anything. Well, apart from the whale, presumably. This supposedly brings them closer to their gods, and some have said whilst dancing around the whale, they've even spoken to their gods. No one has actually gone on record to say what they discussed, but it's been said to happen. Finally, they have a small ritual that they are encouraged to do before each mealtime. Higher-ups in the Not a Cult do this consistently and can risk losing their position if they don't. For lower down members, it's not as impactful, but it is still a prevalent part of their lives. It's nothing too fancy. So apparently, before each meal, members of the connection sit on the floor to the left of their chairs and place their right hands on the seat of the chair with their palms facing up. The elder sitting at the table then leads the others in a simple chant. The endless connection can never cease, connect us to our gods. This is repeated exactly 13 times, with anyone at the table under the age of 5 repeating it another 2 times more. This is so that members can be consistently reminded of their connection and how it is endless in its nature. Not exactly a creative name, at least the
Why has Quentin got you recording?
Oh, it was weird cult stuff, his words.
Could you get him so he can finish up the recording?
On it.
What does weird cult stuff mean? Holy... Okay, I get it now. No, that's pretty cute. What does weird cult stuff even... Oh, sounds about right.
Hey, Jacob.
Quentin, there you are. Can you finish up the recording?
The non-cult cult lives in these types of mole-like tunnels within the crust of the planet they live on, and they're constantly digging out new churches for abstract gods and tunnels that lead to nowhere. They use these hyper-powered machines to dig through soft rock at unimaginable speeds. They're creating an entirely underground city that has ever expanded with the discovery of new gods and sub-gods. Their main source of food is not from farms, but from huge gravitational magnets that remove plankton-like creatures from the atmosphere, which can be burnt for energy or eaten in a paste-like substance. This substance basically never goes off and provides a high amount of energy for the consumer. It is still a disgusting semi-solid paste. The cult has a law that says food must not be wasted or harvested. So the city... The not cult has a law that says that food must not be wasted or not harvested. So the city that they have built is about 50% storerooms full of jars and jars of this paste. This cult is one of the only few who have advertised personalized gods. Their rules state that if at least 2 people believe in a god within their religion, the god is real. This has led to small businesses allowing people to send in info about themselves or others that they have a personalized god made just for them. This is why many choose to leave or join this religious cult. Most of the personalized gods still want sacrifices. So yeah, weird laws equals more gods equals more sacrifices. This is so weird. Right, thank you for your request. That's a bit of what we've got on the Endless Connection. You can contact us again through the information provided with this recording. I hope this was what you were looking for. Thanks. Bye.